We are going to discuss about mathematics topic, that is sets part 3. Already I made 2 videos on sets and this is third video. In this video we are going to discuss about the types of sets. Sets part 3, and in this topic we are going to discuss about the different types of sets. There are many types of sets, but we are going to discuss about the basic sets that are covered in class 10th, right? The first one is, we are going to discuss about number 1, empty set. Number 2, universal set. And number 3, subset. Okay. So now first one is empty set. An empty set, it is denoted by symbol phi or braces within. So we can represent an empty set with either this symbol or this symbol. Okay, right. Now what is an empty set? Let us go with the definition of an empty set. What is an empty set? I think we do not require a definition also. Why? Because it is clear. In the name itself it is revealed that it is empty. A set which is empty is called an empty set. A set which is empty is called an empty set. That means what? A set which is not having elements is called an empty set. So we can write definition like this, no? Any set which does not have elements is called an empty set. Example, let us consider a set A which is x such that x is a natural number and x is less than 1. Okay, a set A is given like this: x such that x is a natural number and x is less than 1. What are natural numbers? You know, natural numbers, they start from 1 itself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on like this. Can you find natural number less than 1? No, they start from 1 itself, no? So what about set A? Does this set A possess any elements? No, it does not contain any elements. Then what is A here? Then set A is nothing but it is an empty set. Set A is an empty set. So how you can write? A is equal to 5. We can represent like this. A equal to 5 means A is an empty set. Or you can write like this. We can represent empty set A like this also. Empty set is having some other names also. It is also called as null set. Also it is called as void set. Void. Okay, void means nothing is there. Null means nothing is there. Empty means nothing is there. So clear regarding what is an empty set? Yes. Shall we go with another example? Okay, let us go with another example. A set B is given in such a way that x such that x square minus 3 equal to 0 and x is a natural number. What he is telling here? X is a natural number and it has to satisfy this condition. What is that? X square minus 3 equal to 0. Okay, let us evaluate what is x here from that expression. X square minus 3 equal to 0 implies x square equal to 3. That implies x equal to how much? Square root 3, that equal to 1.732, so on etc. like this. Is it a natural number? No, it is not a natural number. Does this set B contains any elements here? No elements. According to this condition, B is not having any elements. So what is B here? B is also an empty set. So we can write like this: B equal to this much, or B is equal to like this. 2. Universal set. Take the symbols used for this one, universal set. So universal set is represented by this symbol mu or capital U. Then what is the definition of universal set? A set which contains all the elements of its related sets without any repetition is called as universal set. So what is the definition for universal set? Any set which contains all the elements of its related sets without repetition, without repetition is called an universal set, is called an universal set for those sets only, for not all sets, for those sets only. Any problem is there understanding this definition? If there is any problem regarding understanding of any definition, just break it into parts and we can easily understand that one. We cannot digest a big cake, then what do we do? We cut cake into pieces, we consume one piece, later another piece, later another piece, like that. While understanding definitions also, we may not be able to understand it. So just the technique is to break it into fragments and understand it by fragment. Okay, see here. Yes, any set. What is any set here? We are talking about universal set, no? Yes, that is any set which contains all the elements. Okay, any set which contains all the elements. Okay, what are all the elements? All the elements of its related sets. What does it mean? This set should contain all the elements of its related sets. Let us check later what are related sets. So of its related sets without a repetition is called an universal set for those sets. See here, let us cut this definition, first two lines and second two lines. Second two lines you are familiar, no? Without a repetition, no problem is there. While writing any set, the elements should not be repeated, you know. So there is no problem understanding this one. And also it is universal set for those sets only. Okay. So there is no problem with these two sentences. And then what about these two sentences? When these two sentences, first sentence I think there is no problem. Any set which contains all the elements. Okay, there is no problem. Any set which contains all the elements of its related sets without a repetition is called an universal set. No need to by heart, no need to mug up. Okay, see, I am telling now. Universal set. Any set which contains all the elements of its related sets without a repetition is called an universal set of those sets. Got it? Let me give you one example. Okay, let me give you one example so that you can understand it in a better way. So let us consider a set U is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the problem is with this one. What are related sets? Shall we write what are related sets? Let us write. I am considering some sets, then tell me if they are related to this set or not. Okay, then see, I have considered some sets here. Set A, it is having one element A. Set A is having one element. What is that element? 1. Set B, one element. Set C, one element. Set D, one element. Now tell me, is this A related to set U or not? Yes. Why? Because it is having an element. It is having only one element which is there here. So this is related to this one. Then what about B? Yes, related to U. C and D are also related to U because they are having element which is there in U. Then what about this one? A set E which is having two elements 1 and 2. These two same elements are present here. So is there any relation between this one and this one? Yes. So set E is related to set U, right? Yes. Similarly, set F 3 and 4. Yes, 3 and 4 here. Okay. Set G 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 are there here. Set G is also related. Set H 2, 3, 4. It is also related. One more set, let me take K set. Some K set, Karnataka set. This is equal to A comma B. This K set, is it related to this set here? No. Why? Because it is having two elements A and B. These two elements, even a single element is not present in this set. Okay, even single element is not present in this set. So just don't consider this one. Now this set is called universal set for all these sets. Universal set for all these sets. What are these sets? These sets are nothing but related sets. These sets are nothing but related sets. Got it? They are having one more word. I will tell you. Our next topic is the next definition. I will tell you. For now, since I have not introduced that new definition, new word, I am not using that one here. Till now, here these sets are just related sets. Related sets to what? Related to this one. Then what this set is called? Then this set is called as a universal set. Okay? Is this in accordance with our definition or not? Let us check. Any set which contains all the elements of its related sets, all the elements must be there. No single element must be different. So this element is there, this element is there, this element is there, this element is there. 1 and 2, already 1 is there, 2 is there. Again, no need to write this one because without repetition is there. No repetitions. But all these elements must be there. What are elements here? 1 is there, 2 is there, 3 and 4. See here, only 4 elements. All the 4 elements are there. In the related sets, what are the elements are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Same, all the elements are there in this set. So according to definition, it is clear, no? So this is a universal set and these are related sets. And what about this one? This is not related set. Therefore, this is not an universal set for this one. Got it? Yes. So I think you got clear idea regarding an universal set. Yes. Let us take one more example. Natural numbers. What are natural numbers set? 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. Let us consider whole numbers set W. Whole numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on. Integer set minus infinity, so on. -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, so on, plus infinity. Now tell me, of these three sets, what is universal set and what are related sets? See here, this one, all these elements are present in this set or not? See, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. And here 0 is also there here. So all these numbers are present in this set or not? Integer set, yes. So what is universal set here? Integers set is a universal set. Then what are related sets here? Natural numbers and whole number sets. These are related sets. Next, third one is subset. What is a subset? If all the elements of any given set are present in another set, then this given set is called as subset for that another set. Let me write definition. If all the elements, if all the elements of any set B are present in the elements of set A, are present in the elements of set A, then set B is called subset of set A, is called subset of set A. See, if all the elements of any set B are present in the elements of set A, elements of another set A, then set B is called as subset of set A. With a simple example, let me explain you, it will be very clear. So let us consider set B first. Set B equal to 1, 3. Let us consider another set A. This set is having numbers like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Now compare with the definition. If all the elements of any set B are present in the elements of set A, 1 and 3, these are present in set A. Yes, 1 is there, 3 is there. Yes, all the elements of set B are present in set A. Okay. Now what is set B? Now set B is called as a subset for set A. Enough, simple. See, I am giving you a different definition from the textbook. Textbook he has given in different way. He has started with this one. If all the elements or some of the elements of the set A are there in set B, then set B is called as subset of set A. I am just reversing that one. Okay, I think this is better, so I am reversing. Okay, is it okay or not? Is it okay or not? Yes. All the elements of given set must be there in the elements of another given set. Then this one will become subset. This is very simple. Okay, I have retained this previous example which we used for explanation of universal set. You can use this one here also. See here. What is this one? In the previous case, this is universal set. And what are these two sets? These two sets are related sets. We used the word related in the definition. No? Yes. Now let us check if this one and this one are subsets of this one. Let us check first one. What are the elements here? 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. All these elements are present in this set or not? Yes. Where from where? After 0 starts here. 1, 2, 3, so on up to infinity. Okay, so all these elements are a part of this set. So all the elements in this set are present in this set. Okay, so it is very clear that this natural number set n is a subset for integer set. Okay, right. Then what about this one? Whole number set, 0, 1, 2, 3, so on, etc. Yes, it is also, all these elements are also present in this set. Therefore, whole number set is also a subset of integer set. Got it? In previous definition for universal set, I called these sets as related sets. Now, it is very clear that those related sets, they are nothing but subsets. They are nothing but subsets. So, this is universal set. These are related sets. These related sets only, they are subsets of this set. No? I didn't use the word subsets there because we don't know what was a subset there. Because after giving definition for empty set, I gave definition for universal set. By the time I was giving universal set, we don't know what is a subset. No, that's why I didn't use such a word there. I used related sets. So broadly speaking, it is related set only, and strictly speaking or specifically speaking, it is called as subset, right? So I think this is clear. No? This example, simple example to understand what is a subset, and this is one more example to understand what is a subset. We can consider many examples regarding this. One important point. This one, empty set. Empty set is a subset of any set. Empty set is subset of any set. Very important point. Keep this point in mind. Okay. So any set you take, empty set will be subset of that set. For example, let us consider a set A equal to 1, 2, 3. Now shall we write all the related sets of set A? All the related sets means nothing but they are subsets. Shall we write subsets of A? Starting with what? Starting with empty set. Why? Because an empty set is subset of any set, any given set. So what are the subsets of A? Empty set. Okay, empty set. Set having only this element 1, this 1, 3, only one element. Here two elements, 1, 2. In this one, 2, 3, and in this one, 1, 3. Okay, again don't write like this. 1, 3, again 3, 1, don't write. Both of them are same only. So these all are related sets of set A, and these related sets are nothing but subsets. Yes or no? Yes, subsets. This is subset, this is subset, this is subset. See, okay. This one, 1 and 2, all the elements of this set are there in this set. All the elements of this set are there in this set. All the elements of this set are there in this set. And one thing, you know, the set itself is subset. Suppose 1, 2, 3. Set itself is also a subset to the given set. These sets are called as proper sets, and this is called as improper set. Again, two types of sets are there, subsets are there. One is the proper subset, other one is improper subset. Let us name this one as B, this one as B. Let us name this one as D. Now D is a proper subset. What is D? D is a proper subset of A. And B, what about B? B is a improper subset of A. Then how you can write in symbols? See, D is proper subset, no? You can write like this. D is a subset of A. For proper subset, only this one. Okay. For improper subset, you can write like this. What is this? B, no? B is a subset or equal to A. And in general we write this one only. If it is proper subset, we use this one. D is subset of A. This is for proper subsets. Okay. For a subsets like this, you have to write like this. B is subset or equal to A. Got it? Next topic is how to express the sets using diagrams. Okay. How to represent sets using diagrams? Very simple. We represent, suppose a set A is given to us. Suppose a set A is equal to 1, 2, 3. Then how to represent this with diagrams? Simple. The given set is represented by a closed curve. It is a closed curve or not? Yes, it is a closed curve. And all the elements are just simply put inside that one. So, and let us name this one as A here. A curve is drawn, name is given as A, and all the elements in the set here put inside the closed curve. That's enough. In this way we can represent a set A with a diagram. Let us suppose B is a set having the element 2. Then how to write this one? How to represent that one? Simple like this. What is the meaning of this? 1, 2 and 3, they are elements of set A. 2 is an element of set B. And the element of set B is also there in the elements of set A. See, by definition, all the elements of this set B, only one element is there of course. So, all the elements of this set must be present in the elements of another set A. Yes, what are the elements in set A? 1, 2 and 3. What are the elements in set B? 2. So, this 2 is also present in the set A. Then set B is called as subset of set A. Set B is subset of set A. So, diagrammatically we can represent like this. Let us consider one more set C. C equal to 5, 6. Is this set related with this set here? No. The elements in this set are different. The elements in this set are different. There is no relation at all. Then how you can represent this one? Right, C other outside, no? C is one more set. See, 5 and 6. In this way, using diagrams, we can represent and set. Then how can we consider universal set also? Let us check. Draw a big rectangle here. This is universal set. Let us consider number system. So, let us consider real number system as universal set. Okay. Then what are the related sets for real number system? And that means what are subsets? See, for real numbers, what are the subsets here? One subset is rational numbers Q. Rational numbers Q. Rational numbers Q is a subset of real numbers. Next, integers. Shall we take integers? Integers is a subset of rational numbers or not? Yes. So, we can write like this. Integers is a subset of rational numbers. So, integers. Next, whole numbers. Yes. Whole numbers is a subset of integers. Next, we can take natural numbers n. See, natural numbers n is a subset of whole numbers. Like this. See now here, natural numbers, whole numbers, integers and rational numbers, all these are subsets, all these are related sets of real numbers or not? Yes. Those related sets, they are called as subsets or not? Yes. So, all these are subsets of real number or not? Yes. Rational numbers, integers, whole numbers and natural numbers, all these are subsets. And what are subsets of rational numbers? This one, this one, this one, integers, whole numbers, natural numbers. See, so therefore, all these closed curves are present within the closed curve of Q. Got it? So, in this way, we can use diagrams. See here, we can also tell like this. From this diagram, 1 belongs to A or not? But by seeing this diagram, we can tell yes, 1 belongs to A. 3 belongs to A or not? Yes, 3 belongs to A. 5 belongs to A or not? No, 5 does not belongs to A. Next one is Venn diagrams. What are these Venn diagrams and what is their purpose? Let us check. Also called as Venn-Euler diagrams. Okay, or simply we can call them as Venn diagrams. So, what is the purpose of them? And actually, what are those diagrams? Let us check. Venn diagrams, they are generally rectangles and closed curves. Closed curves in general, circles. They are rectangles and closed curves. And these closed curves in general, they are circles. Some could be ellipses, in general it is a circle. Right. Here in Venn diagrams, universal set is represented by rectangle, while other sets are represented by circles or any closed curves. What is the purpose of a Venn diagram? Purpose of a Venn diagram is to represent the relation between various sets in diagram form. Okay, what is the purpose of Venn diagram? To represent the relation between various sets in diagram forms. Okay, let us take for example 1. Let us take here, let us consider a set, universal set mu equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, so on to 10. So 10 natural numbers. Let us consider a set A, all even numbers from 1 to 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So it is very clear that this set A is a subset of mu or not? Yes, A is a subset of mu. Can I write like this? Because this is a proper subset. Okay, all elements of this one set A are there in set mu, but there are some additional elements are also there in set mu. Therefore, this is proper set. We can write like this: A is subset of mu. Then how you can represent this in the form of Venn diagram? Let us check. So what I told before, rectangles are used to represent universal set. Mu. Okay, it's named as mu. Then what is this set? A is a subset of mu. So take a circle, its name is A. So what are the elements here? 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. Remaining elements 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So got it here clear? So this is set A, it is a subset of this universal set. See here, what is the definition of subset? All the elements of this set must be elements of universal set. See here, all these elements 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, these are elements of this universal set or not? Yes. See here, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, these are not elements of this set. So these are kept outside of this circle. What does it mean here? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, they belongs to universal set, but they do not belong to this set A. Then what about the elements within this circle? These elements, they belongs to set A. Also they belongs to universal set. That is the meaning of this Venn diagram. Got it? Let us consider one more example here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And let us consider one more set B, 4, 6. Now check these three sets here. Set A is subset of mu or not? Yes. Why? All these elements are there in this set by definition of subset. This is subset of mu. Then what about this one? 4 and 6. 4 and 6 are elements of set B. This is also subset of this universal set mu. Why? Because 4 is there, 6 is also there. So B is subset of universal set mu. Observe carefully now. What about B? The elements of B, all the elements of B are there in set A. So it is very clear that B is also subset to A. So now what can be revealed from this information here? A is subset of mu, B is subset of mu, also B is subset of A. Now how can we represent this using a Venn diagram? As usually, let us take this rectangle. Rectangle is for universal set mu. Now there are two sets. First one is set A. Set A, it is a subset of this mu. So we are drawing this one. Then what about set B? Set B is a subset of set A as well as it is a subset of set mu. So we can represent B like this. Now what are the elements of B? First write elements of B here. 4, 6. Then what are the elements in A? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Remaining elements, all the remaining elements which do not belong to either B nor A, they belong only to the universal set. What are those numbers? 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. These belongs to only universal set. They do not belong to set A nor set B. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Sorry. Here 4 is not required. 6 also. See here. What are the elements in set A? This is set A, no? So all the elements in this circle will belong to A. 2 is there in the circle? Yes. 8 is there? Yes. 10 is there? Yes. Then 4 is not there? Yes, 4 is there. 4 is also within this circle only, no? So 4 also belongs to A. And 4 is also in the circle of set B, therefore 4 belongs to B also. Similarly 6 belongs to A as well as 6 belongs to B. And all these belongs to universal set. In this example we have taken two subsets of universal set where one subset is again a subset to another subset. Here see, B is subset to another subset A. Now let us take one more example. Set A equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and set B equal to 6. Okay. Now how can we represent using Venn diagrams? This is universal set mu. Here A is a subset to mu. Why? Because all the elements of A are also elements of mu. Therefore it is subset to mu. Then what about B? 3, 4, 5, 6. All the elements of B are elements of universal set mu. Therefore B is also subset to mu. Then is A subset to B? No, in previous case B was subset to A, but here let us check, is A subset to B? Yes or no? No. How can we say? If it is subset, all its elements must be there in this set. One is there? No. Itself it fails. So A is not subset of B. Then is B subset of A? Same logic. So B is also not subset of A. So how can we write here? A is not subset of B and B is not subset of A. So how can we represent this here? But here there are two elements common, 3, 4. 3, 4. 3 and 4 are common elements for the two different sets A and B. Now how shall we write here? What are common elements here? 3 and 4. First let us name this one. This is set A, this is set B. This circle is set A, this circle is set B. So what are common for set A and set B? That means the two elements 3 and 4, they are present in A as well as present in B, set B. So this is the common region for set A and set B. So 3 and 4, they belongs to set A and they belongs to set B also, right? Then 1 and 2 are elements in A. 1, 2. There 5, 6. Okay. Now what are the other elements which do not belong to either A or B? What are the other elements? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only 7, 8, 9, 10. These elements, they do not belong to either A or B. So we write these elements outside, that is in rectangle. Clear no? See here 1, 2, 3, 4. This region belongs to A, no? And this region belongs to B. So 1, 2, 3, 4 they belongs to A as well as 3, 4, 5, 6 they belongs to B. Here 3 and 4 are common here. Got it? Right. So in this way we can use Venn diagrams to represent the relation between various sets. Got it?